Hi, so let's take a look today at GitHub Actions. So this allows us to do continuous integration, continuous deployment, and it's a fairly new addition to the GitHub capabilities. So I'm in a directory here where I have a server, a web server that I'm going to run, and that web server actually pulls in this file here, which is another root on the server. So let me just show you the server. So here's the server. We're requiring Express, and I'm also requiring my own file here, which is a function, example router. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if we use a get with /example, then I want to fire this function, and I'll just show you what that function is. But just notice that the default function to fire, it just sends hello world. But if we look at the example, it actually says goodbye Earthling. So if we hit that root, it's going to say goodbye Earthling. If we hit the default, it's going to say hello world. Okay, so fairly simple. Now we've also got, let me clear, we've also got a test here. So test.js. And this basically use assert, and we're using node mocks HTTP. This allows us to mock an incoming get. So for example here, we're going to have a get, and we're going to hit the URL /example. It's just going to be our own local host. And what we're expecting is we're expecting to get goodbye Earthling. Okay, so if it hits that root and we get goodbye Earthling, then we're going to pass our test. So let's take a look at package.json. So package.json here has a few things. In particular, it's got a start and it's got a test. So we can run it in both these modes. If we hit npm start, it's going to run node server.js. If we do npm test, it's going to run this test.js file. Okay. So fairly standard. However, we're going to run this not just locally. We're going to run it in a Docker file. So here's our Docker file. We're going to, into our container, we're going to pull in node, and we're going to set up a local directory user, and that's going to be our work directory. We're going to copy package.json in there. We're going to run npm install that uses package.json. That's going to build everything, and we copy everything into source, and we're going to expose port 8080 and run npm start. That's inside the container, remember. Okay, so I'm using Git Actions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a trigger on GitHub that when I push, I'm going to execute this. And what it's going to do, it's going to test my code in parallel on 3 different versions of Node, Node 8 point, 10 point, and 12 point. And it's going to run the build and run test. Okay, let me just make a change. So I want to, let me just touch something here. Let's, for example, hello world, and put an exclamation mark after it. Since we're not going to check that one, it won't make a difference. Now let me go and push this up. So I need to do a git add dot, git commit -m, and I think this would be job, say 6, and then a git push. So I'm pushing that up to the directory. Let me go to the directory So here I am, and I want to look at actions because I've just pushed this up. If you look at this, it's just a few seconds ago. Let's see what's happening here. It's starting 3 jobs. It's building under 8 point, 10 point, and 12 point. So if I go to them, yeah, it's setting the jobs up, you see. So it's running the actions checkout. Now it's going to now it's running npm install, build, and test. And let me just pull this up a little bit, and we can see that it passed that test. Let's see in 12. Yeah, job complete. It passed all the tests there. So it ran 3 separate tests, passed them all, and did it in just a few seconds. So that's pretty slick, and we could then deploy, for example, to AWS or one of the clouds. But I just wanted to show you GitHub Actions and how it works. It's running on containers in GitHub, so very slick indeed. Okay, bye for now.